Welcome to another edition of DoorDash Drivers Live, or really any gig economy app that you run. I'm your host, Mr.BetonYou. How y'all doing? It's Sunday. I hope you guys are good. I have some current topics for y'all that I think many of us have been dealing with. Us in St. Louis for sure this week. People up in the East Coast, Kansas City. Let me know what market you're in. The cold weather. What DoorDash has done in response to it. And I want your opinion on some things that we've seen this week in the gig economy. This comment right here from Mary, I'm going to read it because it goes with tonight's show topic. Mary says, "Hi, Pedro. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is staying warm tonight. Make sure you have a car care bag, blanket, extra clothes, extra socks, extra boots, water, snacks, etc. Maybe hand warmers, maybe obviously, you need to have like a jump start, battery jump start that could be helpful. Obviously, make sure that you have a correct spare tire, something to change that tire. Make sure you have maybe some flares. Make sure you have appropriate things, an air pressure, a tire, something to air your tire up. You can buy those. They're, 40, 50, 60, $100, depending on your budget. But having these things is essential. So, Mary, thank you for that. I saw that, and I wanted to show that a little bit of love. Now, hit the thumbs up for your boy. We have a good show for you guys tonight. Now, in the thumbnail, there's something that I saw for the first time on Friday. And I saw it again today. I didn't work today, but I opened the app. In the thumbnail, you see something that says dynamic pay. I have never seen that. Ever. I've seen Peak Pay. I've never seen anything from DoorDash say dynamic pay. And the words and the lingo, let me read it to you guys. And you guys let me know in the chat if you've seen it. Okay? Dynamic pay. Never seen it. Doesn't mean it's never been there before. But I've done enough DoorDash and been around long enough to say, hey, hold up. What is this? When something catches my eye. Let me read this to you guys real quick. $1. Bear with me, y'all. Added to every completed delivery now. Now, this is an addition to Peak Pay, if there was Peak Pay. How this works. You'll get $1 on each delivery you complete when dynamic Peak Pay is live at the eligible start time. So this is separate from a regular because there was Peak Pay and then also dynamic Peak Pay. Since dynamic Peak Pay doesn't have a set start and end time, and we know Peak Pay does, it cannot be scheduled. You'll see a live promos, including dynamic Peak Pay on the dash page. What if I don't get any offers while dynamic Peak Pay is live? If you start your dash when dynamic Peak Pay is live, but don't receive any offers before it ends, but they just said it didn't have a starting and end time. Okay, that's weird. We'll add an extra $1 on the next offer you accept and complete in the same dash session. If you decline that offer, you will not get any extra whatever. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question here. Also, another part of that thumbnail is I went to order DoorDash yesterday from a place, and I wound up getting something from somewhere else, but there were some merchants that DoorDash was not doing deliveries. Those merchants weren't. Now, I mentioned that because DoorDash didn't stop operations in my zone last night for Dashers because I ordered something, but some merchants either were closed because of the bad weather or they just weren't going to do any deliveries. Did you guys experience that? I'll get in the chat in a little while and give some love and shout outs. So this is my question for you guys. There have been times where DoorDash has shut down operations. Many of you guys sent me some things. I think I saw some things in Iowa, parts of New York, like Buffalo and all that, Kansas City, where they stopped operations. And they've done it in St. Louis before for like a few hours at a time, half a day. I've never seen it for a whole day. Do you think that is good or bad that DoorDash does that? I'm going to bring people up on a panel tonight. You guys can give me your reasons. I want to keep it on topic tonight. Okay. So should DoorDash be shutting down cities and towns because of bad weather? Should they keep it open for us to make money and for people to get things delivered? And if they do, $1 dynamic pay, what kind of peak pays did you guys see this week? What kind of peak pay is appropriate? Or should they shut it down? Those are the topics for tonight. I think I had one more topic. Let me look up the third one here real quick with you guys. The third one was, what the new labor proposal really mean for delivery drivers. If you guys want to get into that, we can. I am completely bored with that. I've already said my piece. But if somebody has an opinion on it, we can talk about that. I am not concerned. I think people are blowing it way out of proportion for delivery drivers. I am not concerned in 2024. I could be wrong, but I'm not concerned over here. But if you guys want to talk about that topic, more than welcome, because it isn't a big topic, but I think we're giving it way too much attention. And maybe I'm giving it too much attention. I don't know. I'm not concerned about it. And I don't think most of you guys are either, based on the polls that I've seen and what I've seen on this channel, at least. Not concerned. But that is the topic. So, $1 dynamic peak pay. Did you see it in your market? What do you think about DoorDash shutting down operations? Hit the thumbs up. Appreciate everybody for being in here. Appreciate all the channel members. Who we got in the live chat tonight? Let's take a look. Cheeky Chops, Laura, Marion, hello. Space Invader, Michael, Dazzledorn, Gig Bell Tolls, what's up? Appreciate you being a channel member. Cassandra, Lisa, the Jaded Driver, Formist Content, the Dashing Kid. I see Mary, the Amazing Hustler. What's up, man? Keep it open. We have the freedom to choose to work or not. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Marion, Kevin, DoorDash Rick Quantabomb, appreciate you being a channel member. Dazzledorn, DoorDash Rick Dazzledorn, Crushing PC Vet, Thunder, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Are you somewhere where it's cold, or are you somewhere where it's warm? I think you're in Florida, right? Canada, Chicago. I'll get into that in 1 minute. Thunder, thanks for the 10, man. Always a good stream here. Pedro, thank you. Appreciate that very much. Let me highlight that comment real quick. Appreciate that, if I can find it. Oh, Lord, where'd it go? Oh, Lord. Let me see. Wanna highlight the super chat. Todd, what up? Gig Gal, what up, everybody? Helen, what up, Sharon? Oh, it's gone. It went away. Damn. Y'all, the chat goes quick. Appreciate that, Thunder. Mad Dash, what's up? Nomadic Geek Mom, what's up? So my man, Dennis, the Amazing Hustler, says we should keep it open. DoorDash shouldn't shut down. I think some of you will have that opinion. Some of you will have a different opinion. I will have the Streamyard link open in a minute. Now, let's see if we got any. Big Carl, what's up? Got to go to bed. Hey, have a good night, man. Jocelyn Williams, hello. How are you? Raised on Scrabble. What's up? Thunder in the house. Yeah, I wish it was 50 degrees right now. Man, it is cold in the basement where I'm at. It's cold. We have an extra heater. We have it upstairs for the room, for the baby. But yeah, it's cold out, man. It's cold. I want to hear from you guys. Drop your market in the chat, only if it was a market that it was super cold. I want to read some markets that were cold. Drop the degrees, whether it's wind chill or not, if you don't mind. I want to read a few to see what we're representing tonight. I want to see if you guys were impacted, and I want to get y'all's opinions to see. Go Lions. I haven't checked the score yet. Aren't basements colder? Yes, always. Usually. Heat rises. Chilly in PA. Okay. Gig Gal says, if restaurants are open, DoorDash should stay open. During COVID, we were essential workers, or essential employees. Don't disagree with that. Sizzler says, -3 degrees, very cold. Nashville, 20 degrees. Toledo, -20. Los Angeles, 52. Get out of here. 11 degrees in Pittsburgh, 0 degrees in Wisconsin, 32 degrees here. Mary, St. Louis Metro East, so cold I already know. Memphis, single digits. Buffalo, New York, -8 degrees. Cleveland, if you're in the negatives, or as Madison said today, she goes, if it's single digits, no good. That's crazy. Flint, -12. -27 degrees yesterday in Kansas City, Missouri. Can you believe that? Feels like -16, -21. Wichita, -4, 55 and cold in SoCal, says Space Invader. Okay. So a lot of you guys in the chat are, what's up, Red? Gig Wars Officials, Gig Bell Tolls, Kevin, Canada Club Chicago, West Side of Chicago, represent. Humble Park, baby. Okay, so Kentucky, 3 degrees. Okay. Now, for you guys that answered where your markets were and that were cold, put a thumbs up in the chat if you worked. In the last couple of days, if it was cold like that, did you work and why? And that will lead me into tonight's topics. Because DoorDash stopped operations in some areas. In other areas, they didn't stop. They said, here's a dynamic pay of $1. Oh, what the fuck? $1. And then if there was peak pay, you got that as well. So when I took that screenshot, there was a $3 peak pay. So what that meant was I was going to get $4 and then $2 $6 minimum per order. Minimum was $6. That's not bad. Because you got the $2 base pay and you got the $4 in peak pay. $6 to start is fantastic, people. Even with no tip. You know, some runs are going to be worth your time, right? So obviously, not bad, but is it really worth it? Is it really worth to go out in this type of weather and have something happen to you, your car? Imagine having a car issue and it's that cold. Do all of you have that safety care car bag in your car? Do you have somebody that can come pick you up? Do you have AAA? Do you have a backup plan if something happens and you're stuck somewhere and you're 20 miles from home? Many of us, if we're dashing, we might be 20 miles from home. That's not unreasonable. Forget it. If you're 5 miles from home, do you have a plan when it's cold? Because it's different. Your car breaks down, something happened, and it's 50 degrees, like the Amazing Hustler, and you're in Cali, or you're somewhere where it's 50 degrees. It sucks. But it's not really relevant to your livelihood and like your whatever. If you're in a car and it's -8 degrees and something happens, whoo, and you're not set up for success, that's going to be a long night. Also, imagine this. If you're in a city like St. Louis, I am, where crime rates aren't great, a lot of break-ins, robberies, when it's cold and you're in and out getting those, you want to keep your car warm, I bet there's at least 10 of you right now out of the 233, hit the thumbs up, people, that can relate to this. It's cold outside. You're going to keep your car running, I bet, when you go to get that McDonald's, when you go to drop it off, you are not shutting off your car. I guarantee it. Some of you are, most of you aren't when it's that cold. Your car is staying running. Doesn't that open you up to more of a risk of somebody taking that car, doing something like? So there are reasons to not work when it's really cold. Now, some of us have to. No shade. We got to do what we got to do. We got bills over here, right? But is it really worth it? That's my question for y'all tonight. Let me read a little bit of the chat before I put the StreamYard link. I'm going to go ahead and pin it here in just a minute. I worked and they only gave the $2 base pay, no extra, and -1 here, says Brittany. That is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Cassandra, what happened? I'm blessed, though. A semi-truck was right behind me. Ooh, something happened to Cassandra. I'm saying, y'all, when this kind of weather, man, and plus you got all the other drivers out there. Roads might not be great. Staying running, I lock it with extra fob. Rick, not bad. I think a lot of people do that. Never turn my car off once today. There we go. I thought a lot, but it's something to think about, right? When it's super cold out there. Big Cross says, my bank account don't look effed up, so there's no way I'm going. My question is, do people really tip better during cold weather? Dazzledorn, I think so. I usually tip pretty well, maybe above average. And then I gave the girl that came last night extra cash because it was cold outside. And I actually went to go meet her. And then we met and I saw she had like kids in her car with her in the back. And I'm like, damn. So I was going to give her extra money anyway, because listen, that's how I look at it. But I do this work. So it is what it is. I do think tips go up. I do. Not from the people that won't tip, but overall, I think good people are out there. Cheeky chops. Didn't tip well tonight where I'm at. That's crazy, man. 9 degrees, Buffalo. As long as the orders are, yeah, okay. If you can't tip at least 10, yeah. And I don't want to make this about tipping. I want to talk about DoorDash for a little while. Do you think they have an obligation to you and I and the consumer? Because the more they incentivize us to stay out or go out, the consumer is going to win because they're going to get things delivered quicker, right? So should there be an automatic? If it's below 20 degrees, let's say, once it gets down in the that's cold, guys, right? Should they automatically peak pay everywhere? Now, when I opened my app, I saw peak pay in some zones and peak pay not in others. But a dynamic peak pay of $1? What is that? $1? That's not. Is that really an incentive? For me, it's not. It's not. It's just not. I remember peak pay in the snow a couple years back, $10 peak pay. I remember that. And I worked and I made a little more money, but it takes you longer. So to me, it wasn't worth it. It's not. But for some of y'all, you see that $10, you see something crazy. I mean, maybe it's worth getting in a car accident. To me, it's not. That's my stance. I want to hear from y'all. But what obligation, if any, does DoorDash have to make sure these things are delivered? Because that's the bottom line. Somebody orders something, there's a need or want. We want to facilitate that to get all the fees and all that and keep the customer happy. What dollar amount should we put on the Dasher to make sure that they stay out or go out? That's the question for tonight. All right, I'm going to pin the Streamyard link and see if anybody wants to come up and chop it up here. Let's do this. If somebody wants to talk about the boring labor stuff, we can. I have an opinion on it. I've talked about it already, but maybe you haven't seen those videos. I have a very strong opinion on it. And it might be different to yours. We can talk about that as well. Oop. Oh, no. I got to do it again. Hold on. And I'll pin this in just a second. What are we doing here? There it is. All right, so somebody wants to come up and talk about your experience. What do you think DoorDash should do? Should they shut down operations? The Amazing Hustler says no, they shouldn't. If the store, and Gig Gal as well, if the stores are open, DoorDash should stay open. Do they have a responsibility to keep us safe, though? I don't know. Let's talk about that tonight. I think we can have a good flowing conversation and a different range of opinions based on those couple of thoughts, right? And I'll share mine organically as we have a discussion tonight. Okay, let's see. Let me find it here. Pin this comment for you guys. Okay, let's see. Let's go there and pin. So up at the top of the live chat, you should see a little black box. It says my name in yellow with a link. You can click that link and be a part of the show this evening. I'm looking for new people. If you've never been a part of the show, I would love to hear your voice, see your face, have your opinion. Don't worry, we don't bite over here. So if you always want to be a part of the show, tonight's a good night for that, okay? All right. Before we do that, I'll give you guys a couple of hot takes. I'll give you a little bit of my opinion on the topics tonight, and then that might spearhead somebody to say, ooh, I don't know, Pedro. Ooh, maybe I don't believe that. You know, I don't mind throwing my opinion out there. I'm very opinionated. I stand 10 toes down. We can agree to disagree. It's okay. That's part of the way the world works. Here's my hot take. I think if the weather's that bad, because I worked in restaurants before and managed things, when the weather was bad, we never would want to close, but sometimes you have to, because you have to take, we're not employees. That's the one difference here. You have to bring the safety is an issue, right? So knowing people are coming to work for a low volume sales day, is it really worth it to open up an Applebee's when, you know, people are going to call off, you're putting people at risk to come in so you can service maybe 10 tables that day? Not worth it. We close down. Or we close early. We've done that. I've done it probably a dozen times. So it doesn't happen often. But if it's that bad, you shut down. So my opinion, I'll give it first. If you're in a market where the weather's that bad, if it's cold, it's cold. And cold can mean roads can be, you know, but if it's a lot of snow, a lot of ice, rains, I believe they should halt operations. That's my opinion. Because we know a lot of us are addicted to these apps, and we will go out there and risk it for a biscuit. But is it really worth it? I don't think it is. But I do understand and have empathy for the people that sucks for their pocketbooks, because if it's a weekend like it was this weekend and you needed to make $300, now you can't do that. That fucking sucks. There's no way around that. I get it. But let's say, like, I think Canada Club Chicago, or I think that's the name. If you're still here, let me know. They said something about a dasher. Something happened to a dasher or a driver in Chicago. Did somebody lose their life? That's crazy. That's tragic. I didn't hear about that, right? And maybe if the operations were halted, that person wouldn't have been able to go out. Now, that's one case out of millions of people that are out on the roads, but it happens, right? So what is the responsibility of the gig apps to us? Do they have one? I think if the weather's that bad and it's that cold, it's that much snow, it's okay to shut it down. Right? That's how I do it. That's what I think, but maybe you guys think differently. Let's read the chat before I see if anybody's in the backstage. What are Thunder and Jada talking about? Troll accounts? We ain't doing that tonight. Gig worker 1099. I got into a car accident on 12/30 and haven't dashed at all so far in 2024. Ooh, I hope you're feeling better. Others without medical knowledge would not. DoorDash is open on Christmas and it's not shutting down for weather. Interesting. They have shut down. What up, Necro? Minus 11 degrees out. Only people behind on rent are dashing now. Good point. Good point. Good point. I wouldn't be. Even if I'm behind in rent, that's a lie. I don't know. It's a great point you bring up. It's a great point you bring up. What would I do if I had no money and rent was due the next day? I don't know if I'd go out. I might. A part of me might say, if I'm only going to be a couple days behind, I'll just make it up when it gets a little bit better. It's a good, interesting take, though. It being cold and roads being icy is two different things. Super cold isn't life-threatening. Icy roads are different things. Absolutely, I agree with that. So you're saying maybe if the roads are bad, you should halt. But if it's just cold, keep it open. I don't disagree with that. Kolaya, hello. No, it's me. I'm on CPT. CPT, if you know, you know. That's funny. All right. Let's see if any other comments here. Anybody else mute the game that Chris Collinworth is commenting? Darren, you're funny. If it truly needed the money, I would dash. I think most people that work the gig economy, we really need it. Would you not agree? A lot of us, especially for full-time, hey, we need those dollars, man. We need those cents, right? Let's see if we got anybody waiting in the background here. I see Gig Bell Toes, Kevin. I see two Kevins. How's there two Kevins? That's confusing. But Kevin, both of the screens are white, so I'm going to wait a minute. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll give that just a second. I'll read some more comments here. I'm of the opinion if it's a safety issue, I'm okay with them halting it. Really cold isn't a safety necessarily, though, right? There's a danger line I will not cross. Okay. Linda Lou, you need the money later. What if I find stupid is you need money, but what happens if you get hurt? Come on, let's use our brains. Cassandra says, let's use our brains. Listen, another thing about this kind of work, when it's like that, man, you think the average human being is going to care about you slipping and falling? You think they got the ice melt down for you? There's a lot of other factors here, right? Just to go out to make $100 bucks, is it worth it? My opinion is no, but I want to hear from you guys tonight. Click the link up at the top of the StreamYard. How can I submit a real questions without coming on StreamYard? Emerson, put them in the chat. I'll give you a second. If you got a real question, I'll wait. Eyes open wide. Pedro, are you on Telegram? No. If you guys get anything from me saying you've won something and it's some kind of that's always a scam. We should know that by now. I will never reach out to you in the comments saying you won something. It's always a scam. No one cares about your life except you. Interesting. Okay. Laura, you might not be wrong. I was banned on at least 3 channels today. Crazy stuff. Yeah. Thunder. I don't know, man. Listen, there's a Thunder. I got opinions on that, but that's for another stream. What is Telegram? Telegram's, I think, like some kind of scammy, weird little thing people can chat. I don't know. DoorDash definitely doesn't care about you as long as the order gets delivered. I agree with that. Scooterbud, I use Dash Direct and collect immediately after every dash. That's smart. Eyes open wide, yes, it's a scam. Don't worry, let's not worry about it. What up, Todd? I got your email. I think that's the same Todd. I'm like a mailman. Rain, snow, sleet, or hail ain't stopping me, but I'm a money-hungry, greedy old man. Todd, hey, you know the risks. That's up to you. Me? Listen, if I wake up tomorrow and I've dashed in the snow before, and I don't mind doing it. But if it's really bad, I'll figure out I'll make it up another time. That's how I look at it. But I want to hear from y'all tonight. Okay. Who do we got? I got Gig Gal, I see you, and I got Gig Bell Toes. I'm going to bring both of you guys up right now. All right, let's see. Gig Gal, how you doing?
How's it going?
It's going good. Are you out hustling right now?
No, I stopped around like 8 o'clock, but it was a great day.
Sorry about yesterday. We don't have to get into it, but I know you know what I'm talking about. That was rough.
Oh my God.
That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let me bring up Gig Bell Tolls, and I see Lady T. I'm gonna have you guys up on the panel together. What up, Gig Bell? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm at home, warm.
Okay, good,
So.
good. And we got Lady T. Lady T, how you doing?
Hey, I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining the show. I'll start out with Gig Gal first. She put in some comments in the chat. Give me your thoughts on this cold weather shutdown operations, $1 dynamic pay.
Come here, buddy.
What are your thoughts on it?
Come on.
So, pretty much with people who live up in the cold like us, we know that we're going to look at the weather. It's going to be cold for the next week, maybe even longer, like 2 weeks. You never know in Ohio weather. So it's like, are you going to go out when it's cold and see, like, I'm not going out Monday or Tuesday because I see that it's going to be even colder than the weekend was. So I was like, I'm just going to work the weekend and then take Monday and Tuesday off, the 2 coldest days of the week coming up. You know, cold doesn't really necessarily, our roads were not icy at all. There was no snow on the ground, no snow stuck because it blew sideways for an entire 5 hours straight. Like, it was so windy. But that was it. That was it. It was cold and windy. We drive in that. We know how to do that. So now if it's a foot of snow, yeah, I'm not going to go out. I will prepare myself. I'll look at the weather and I'll prepare myself. Okay, this day is going to be cold, but this day I'm about to get 5 feet of snow. So I'm going to dash this day. I'm going to make my money this day because I can't work that day. You know? So that's just my thought on it. Like, it's different when like for instance, they'll shut down stores if it's too busy, but they won't shut them down if they're too cold. Not busy. If it's too snowy, but they don't shut down stores for being cold. So
do you I know you do a lot of shopping. Do you find when it's cold that it slows you down?
No, it speeds me up because I'm cold. I want to get back in the car. I'm cold.
Oh, it speeds you up. Okay.
Like,
I thought maybe.
I swear, I just anticipate how cold it's gonna be. But as long as you bring your stuff, like she said in the beginning, you know, you're just in case. I helped somebody today at the gas station whose battery died when I was in the gas station. He came in like, anybody need jumper cables? I told him I had some, and we helped jump his car. It was so cold that his battery didn't work, but I have all that stuff available to me. I make sure I have flashlight, gloves, blankets. Like, I have everything. I have a bunch of water bottles and things like that. I have food. Like, I stay near home when it's like that. So you take those risks, but like, you know, 9 times out of 10, if something like that happens, you're in front of a store. Your car's not going to die on you in the middle of the road.
Good point. Let me get the Gig Bell Tolls. Let me get him. Okay, there he is. So Gig Bell Tolls, what's your thoughts, man? And also let me know remind us what market you're in again for the live chat. And then how cold is it or warm? And what are your thoughts on DoorDash shutting down operations or giving you $1 dynamic peak pay?
All right. Well, I'm in DFW. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and it was 27 degrees here, but the wind chill made it feel like it was 2 degrees. I did dash earlier today. There was no precipitation, so there was no like snow or no icy roads. It was just cold, but did all right. I've never seen the dynamic pay thing. I haven't seen that in my market yet, so I don't know nothing about that. But
yeah, I saw it yesterday. Gig Gal, have you seen dynamic peak pay for $1? Did you guys get that in Ohio?
We sure don't. We don't. I think we got like a $2 peak pay for about 2 hours, and that was it. Like, it was like nothing. But it stayed
I've never
day long, so it was like if we wanted to, we could make the money on there.
Yeah, I had never seen that. I mean, I've had the app for like almost 4 years. I've never seen dynamic peak pay. We've had worse weather conditions than we had this weekend in St. Louis. So it's got. I guess it's something new. But so Gig Bell. So do you go if the weather's bad, icy roads, a lot of snow? Do you go out or do you stay in?
If it's icy roads, I stay in. I'm in Texas. We do not get that a lot here at all. And while I'm confident in my driving ability in it, other people, no. But we get crazy here in Texas when it's like icy weather. People we don't know how to drive on it. So, I mean, I just don't find it worth my health. You know, I'd rather just stay in and, you know, enjoy the warmth and, you know, once the weather clears, I'll go make my money later. But, you know.
Yeah. Let me ask.
It's not worth dying over, dude.
Let me ask both of you guys this, and I'm going to kick it to Lady T and see what she's got to say. But as far as Gig Gal and Gig Bell Tolls, let's say you got bad. Let's say it's a week and it's bad. Can you not work for a whole week and not feel the impact of that? What do you guys say to that? Like, or would you comfort? Like, if it's like goes that far out, do you go out then at some point because you got to make some money?
Yes,
Well,
100%.
but
Like, yes. Yes. Like, I'm a
yeah, that
stay-at-home
case,
mom.
yeah.
I started like with not having any money, I was literally at home. I worked 1 day a week as a server, trying to pay all these bills off. I just bought a new car. My car payment's $350. I'm serving 1 day a week and pray and hope that that day is busy. I'm
Yeah.
paying for babysitters and stuff like that. And now it's like today, for instance, it was really cold, but guess what? My husband's off 2 days a week and this was one of them. So like I could literally work without dragging a baby out. I won't drag my baby out into this. Like I
Yeah.
will not.
Yeah.
But not even to take him to a babysitter. Like I will bring him out in the cold as least as I can. But like I had a free day and I won't have another one for a while. And just like me, I worked all day and guess what? I just Ubered myself some Taco Bell and I tipped her $15 for 2 miles. So like I
Hell
didn't
yeah.
want to go out.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I tipped. I ordered something last night. I tipped $15 too. But so Gig Bell, yeah. If you can't work for a whole week, I mean, what are you doing if it gets to that 6th and 7th day? Do you look at it differently at that point?
I mean, I do what I have to do, but but normally winter weather here, it's lucky to last 2 days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lady T, what about you? What do you think in your market? Did you see this dynamic peak pay? How do you feel about DoorDash shutting down and halting operations? What do you feel about it?
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not a DoorDasher no more. And I want to speak on experience from when I started, which was in 2016.
Okay.
I have a YouTube channel, ain't monetize or anything. So I mentioned you about your video you made yesterday about poor people not tipping. That's why I keep on here. But let me speak from experience. I'm in Atlanta, metro area, Atlanta, Georgia. And when I did DoorDash back in 2016, 2017, and when we had the winter issues, what DoorDash did, as well as Uber Eats, was they actually had suspended service, but they gauged it based on as the time went by. So what they did was, oh, we're taking deliveries. But then when the restaurants started, it was really dictated by the restaurants as to whether or not they will suspend service or continue. It wasn't so much DoorDash. DoorDash was forced to suspend the service when the restaurants were not doing any more deliveries. Either they didn't have no workers come, people were not getting out, people were not going to get the food, and they weren't getting the drivers. So it didn't make sense to continue. So it was really the restaurants used to suspend it, and then DoorDash had to do it. Because they were losing money. They had the food. Nobody was picking it up. And that's money going down the drain. And DoorDash still got paid whether the restaurants were open or not. So when they so I'm only can speak from experience, but not currently. But personally, if I do Walmart Spark. Now, we haven't had no cold winter or anything like that. I mean, it was like 30 something degrees early in the morning. But I find that when it's very cold and you start out early, you could really get a lot of orders when people are not out. But once 10, 11, 12 come, that's it. Everybody's out. So when it's cold, you can take advantage of it like that. But Atlanta, with that big snowstorm that happened a few years ago, they shut the whole highway down and everybody didn't believe it. It could be an inch of snow in Atlanta. People don't know how to drive, whether it be in the sun, whether it be snowing, because there's a lot of hills and things of that nature. So I think that DoorDash will only suspend is when the restaurants started to close down. But in the beginning, these were more smaller, privately owned restaurants. They said, nope, we're going to close because they don't have any drivers that's going to pick up their food. They're not going to fix the food, just the waste. And they still have to pay those DoorDash. They still have to pay their fee. So they were forced to suspend. But they'll try to stay open and let people come. But they're not going to make the food until they know somebody's going to make it. So
I appreciate you bringing that up because it wasn't something that I thought about, but it makes sense that they might look at their merchants, and if they're not open or they're having issues, they might want to save the money and the fees and all that, right? So it might not be necessarily they're looking out for us, they're looking out for themselves because places are closed, you know what I mean? So I think that's a really good point. Let me add, Gigal, do you have anything you want to add to this convo? Because I think Lady wants to mention something else about the video I made.
No, honestly, everything she said about that is true, because when I worked for Applebee's and we were managers, we were able to toggle on and off DoorDash as we needed. If we were too busy or we were short-staffed and couldn't handle the door, we were able to turn DoorDash off. So the restaurants primarily choose if they want to keep open or not. Now, I know my husband, he works in Sandusky, and they have like levels. And last year during Christmas, he got stuck out in Sandusky at a level 3. There was like so much snow. It was bad. It was windy, things like that. So I think the stores have to shut down at that point. But he couldn't because DoorDash was still open. They said, make some money on DoorDash then if you can't. Nobody's coming in. It's too cold. But like for conditions like today, everybody's open. Everybody's dashing. Everybody's open. It's like a same day. We have this every year.
Yeah. And I think you're somewhere that's similar to where I'm at. Like, we get bad weather. We're kind of used to it. So our infrastructure is designed for it. The city's more, a little bit more prepared versus places like maybe in Texas or other places. They don't get it as much, so they don't know how. They don't know what to do.
Somebody, I don't know who it was. It was a while ago. I was reading them, but somebody put in the comments like, the last 2 days have just been a winter coat, a hat, and some gloves. I'll be honest. I wear a hoodie and then like a small coat over it. I don't. I wear a regular baseball cap hat. I don't cover my ears, and I had some fingerless gloves that I can flip into mittens, but I didn't. So like, I was working like that today. You know, I wasn't even fully prepared. I was just like, okay, let's just do this. I'm going from a warm car to a warm store. Warm car, warm store. Like, that's it. Yeah.
I hear that. I appreciate your thoughts on it. I'm gonna talk to Lady T real quick. I think she's got something she wants to bring up. Gig Gal, plug your channel real quick though before you exit. Oh, hold up, Gig Gal. I think your mic's muted.
Yeah, it's muted.
Okay, go ahead, unmute it. Oh, hold on. Okay, I think maybe we had technical. So, Lady T, you mentioned a video I made. You wanted to. So, what is your response to the video I made? What's your opinion on it?
Okay, so what I said in my live stream not that long ago, less than an hour ago, I said, you know what? You're right. If you don't have any money and you broke, then you should not make it feel as if you flipping the script like because I've said, like I mentioned, I said years, not years, I make it sound like it's so long ago. When I started 2016, tips were a big matter. And I said that now people are trying to guilt trip people who do the gig work, whether it be DoorDash or Grub or whatever. Now they're trying to make it sound like now we're the what's the thing I said? That we are playing victims because we're not tipping, and they say you should get another job. And I said, you know what? From the very beginning, I've always said, because I was one of the people, original OGs, when we used to talk about we should stop, pausing and bring Uber and all these other companies to their knees to force them to bring back the pay. Because in the beginning, tipping was not a big issue. The tip issue was when, let me say, like DoorDash, they used to pay $5 per delivery plus the tips. So, and you were only dealing with people who had discretionary income to use the service. You weren't traveling as far. You could literally, so I knew a problem was going to happen was when they started going to fast food. I said, oh, hell no. They changed their pay scale model, DoorDash, at least 4 different times. It went from $5 down to $2 and some change plus mileage. Then changed it where if the customer say they give $10, but you going less miles, they didn't pay people. So I see the change in those 3 times they've done it. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is now because they don't want me back on the platform. And I said, fine with me. So I've seen the changes that they've done. And and not just DoorDash, but Uber Eats, Grubhub. They changed their pay scale model. Was when I knew that the private, small, independent restaurants, pizza place, Thai restaurants, very good restaurants, they didn't have to hire their own delivery drivers. They didn't have to pay them unemployment and all that. So they said, okay, we'll use the platform. Some here in Atlanta, they used to have 5 different tablets on their table at one time.
Back in I've walked in a few bars and places where they've had, you got the Grubhub, the Uber Eats, the DoorDash,
even Amazon,
and the bartenders back there trying to make drinks, and then the tablets, and I'd be trying to pick up an order. I'd see them turn it off. I'm not doing this.
Because they didn't want to feel left out, because they knew that if their competitor had it, they had to get it too.
Yeah.
But you didn't travel all over the world to deliver the food. You had 2-3 miles, 5 miles.
Yeah. It's definitely changed. The landscape has changed. I mean, I wasn't doing it when you were doing it. I think you said 2016, right? So it's definitely become more widespread, and they've opened up the floodgates of the merchants. And now we're doing retail, and we're doing prescription and packages, along with the fast food and the mom and pop and the upscale. They've definitely, DoorDash specifically, has put their footprint on as much marketplace as possible, which at times can be more opportunity for you and I, right? But it also dilutes the experience, because now it's like everybody's out here, everybody has an option, tipping or not tipping, and it's like you said, you're kind of in agreement, it sounds like, with why should I have to bring somebody something if they don't have the means to pay for it? Back in the day, in 2016, not everybody was ordering like they are now, right? So now it's like everybody has the opportunity, but does that really mean it's good for us,
No, but don't be guilt tripping. Don't be guilt tripping to, flip it to the driver and say, oh, why you shouldn't ask no tips. So I always had a philosophy that out of 10 customers, I said if 6 out of 10 people, I've always said that 60%, 70% of people will tip. The other people, if they don't tip, they don't tip. But if it's so bad and hurtful for me, I would tell them, excuse me, I'm here. I'm not picking up no water. I need help. Somebody come and get these bags. And I know they have kids, so you can tell with the junk they buy. I said, come on here, kids. Come here and get these bags. You get a bag, you get a bag, you get a bag. I'm not saying so. That's how I deal with it. And then the one that kills me, people park their cars, 50 billion cars in the carport. You blocking my entry to get to the door. And you expect me to walk all the way around with my cart, try to deliver these groceries. So what I do, okay, y'all want to play funny? Y'all want to act all crazy? I'm going to put it right up at the end of the door, the end of the step, where you're going to have to get out your house, go down the little step and get that water. So, I do the best I can. But if I know they're not tipping, I
hear you.
You know what? If you ain't gonna tip, I said, well, I guess you're gonna have to wait. I said at the bottom of the message it says the customer may tip later. I said, I guess you're gonna have to tip. You're gonna get your food later because it sure ain't coming from me. And you can tell when they keep going back and back and around in a circle, circle. Eventually they'll get the point. So you have to kind of you gotta have to train these non-tipping customers to tip. And like I said, unless I know it's on my way to my house, and I said, okay, I get no tip. It's on my way home anyway. Let me get it, drop it off. But I'm not going to go out all the way.
Yeah, I hear you. Especially when it's cold. We're talking about being cold outside, this and that. I think I look at the apps, and we should be looking at them a little differently, and maybe being a little more selective when it's really cold out there, because we want to make money, and it's harder to do it sometimes when it's bad weather. So. Lady T, I appreciate
people need to be more, when we try to do an alliance across the country, back in the day when we said everybody, we need to come together, people say, I need my money. We couldn't. I think it would have worked if people came together, shut down these companies and let them see it's going to hurt their pocket. And I think they would have never changed their pay scale. They should have never changed their pay scale like that. If they kept it the way it was, DoorDash and Grubhub too, and they kept it the way it is, we wouldn't be talking about no tips. You know,
Yeah.
I don't say one thing out that you got. I don't want to hold up. So I'd rather that somebody be appreciative. Like this one girl, you know, she lived in an apartment. I said, dang, they got 50 pounds of water. And she met me right downstairs with her cart. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And, you know, I'd rather someone feel appreciative, give me the little 5 stars, and meet me halfway to help me. You know, other than that, don't guilt trip me because I'm the last one to be messed with. You talk about you getting mad when they was calling you, bless you. When they call you artists and stuff, you ain't met. I said, ooh. I said, I can't wait to get on his show tomorrow if I can get on. But
well, I'm glad you came on and shared some of your perspective. You obviously an original OG, as you said, 2016. I mean, I ain't got nothing on that, so I appreciate your perspective. I'm gonna bring a couple other gentlemen up to talk about the topic at hand, and have a good rest of the night, Lady T.
You too.
Thank you.
Safe, y'all.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna bring back in the Gig Bell Toes. I think we lost him now. I see the Dashing Kid up as well. Gig Bell, let me unmute. Hold up. Oh, hold up. Go ahead. Unmute your mic. There we go.
Oops. Sorry.
Mike, no, you're good. And let me bring in that Dashing Kid. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on?
What's up?
What's up, kid?
I'll start with you first, man. So what do you think about, have you seen dynamic peak pay? Do you think $1 is enough? What do you think about DoorDash shutting down operations in certain markets for the weather? What's your opinion on it?
I haven't really had anything as far as the dynamic peak pay. I had it once a couple days ago. It was during a heavy rainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like $1, so it really didn't make much of a difference. I did one order and I ended up having to pack it up and go home.
Yeah.
It was rough.
What market are you in again?
I am from Rockingham, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. What's the weather like today, this weekend?
Right now it's like 45, so it's not really that cold.
No, 45. I mean, 45, I can go outside in shorts and a hoodie in 45-degree weather. I mean, that's not bad at all. Let me ask you a question. Do you think DoorDash has any type of responsibility if the weather gets really bad, negative 10 degrees or a lot of ice or a lot of snow? Do you think they should shut down, or do you think they should keep operations open?
I think if it gets really bad, I think they should halt it, because as a driver, I don't want to risk my life, you know, to bring somebody their food.
Mm-hmm.
If they was to stay open, I feel like they should give us a better incentive to drive instead of $1, because that really doesn't work.
That's a great point. I look at $1 as, and welcome Slavic to the show, everybody. Everybody say hi to Slavic. He's been
What's up, Slavic?
I've met him. He's a great man. So happy to see you here tonight. But I think $1 is kind of a slap in the face. But let me ask you, what dollar amount do you think is fair? If it's really bad weather and you're going to offer $1 dynamic peak pay, and we think that that's like kind of shameful, what dollar amount would you say that you would see and be like, okay, that kind of makes sense? What would that be for you?
I would say anywhere from $5 to $10 would be
same.
You know, all right.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Slavic, what about you, man? Welcome back to the show. What's your opinion on the topics tonight, man?
I came in late because I was finishing up my training. I had a plan to be at the beginning, but my training took too long.
No,
so what are the topics today?
We're basically talking about, you know, a lot of markets across America. It's been really cold, St. Louis, other parts of the country, and DoorDash is sending out this dynamic peak pay in conjunction with a regular peak pay, and it's $1, right? But then also DoorDash, in some places, they've closed operations, basically saying you can't order, it's shut down, it's whatever, right? For the customer and the driver. So what are your opinions on it? Do you think that that's good that DoorDash does that, or not good?
No matter what the door does, they're in business to make money for themselves. They're never interested in a driver. This is something we spoke about for quite a while. I'm sorry I haven't been part of this for over a year now. But every driver should ask themselves, is that dollar worth the accident? Is the dollar worth not able to drive? Is the dollar worth not able to work for a week or a month, whatever it might cost you? Is the dollar worth broken hand, broken head, broken arm, broken foot? Or maybe is the dollar worth you being sick for the next week because you got too cold?
Mm.
So is it $1? Is it a 5? Is it 100? Whatever they can offer. The question is it worth it to you? What are you willing to, how much, what's the price that you're willing to say, okay, at this price, I'm willing to go and take a risk. At this price, I'm willing to get on that icy road and risk my and somebody else's life just so I can make that 10, 20, 30, 50 bucks.
Mm.
Because they will always do whatever it takes for them to get that delivery. The question is it worth for you?
Mm. That's a good point. I think you bring up some good points because I think we look at that. We might look at that $5 or $10 pay, additional pay, or we might look at, man, I can make a lot of money tonight. I might make extra money, but what amount is enough? And how are we weighing the risk versus reward, right? Like you said, something could happen, and we hope it wouldn't, but it's possible, right? We could walk up some stairs at icy, we get hurt. Something could happen to our car. Like, is that extra $5 or $10 worth it? Obviously, most of us, in hindsight, we're all going to say no, it's not. But we are definitely putting ourselves more at risk when we go out and the weather's bad. What do you guys think?
I want to add something. 2 years ago, I was in Lexington, and it was cold, it was raining, and it was windy. I chose that day to work because they were giving me $25, $30 deliveries back to back on Uber. I never. Damn. This was my only day where the Uber just went crazy with me. Guys, I regret that day till today. And I probably going to continue regretting that day. I came home after 12 hours of running. I didn't realize how cold I was until I walked into the house. And I felt like I was an icicle, that cold. Till today, a small breeze onto my head, and I have major headaches. A lot of times I have to put on a hoodie right now just to actually go out into a breeze.
Yeah.
So was it worth it? I think I had like a $380 day that day. Was it worth it? And and those are the questions. You guys do not know when you guys going to hit that opposite of a jackpot. That's gonna cost you health, gonna cost you pain, and something that you're gonna end up living for a long time.
Mm.
So that's
it's looking back. Yeah, I think it's always hindsight's. It's hard to say because you probably make good money that day, but then you get home and you realize, man, now I have these. I didn't realize maybe how bad it was. Welcome, Kevin, to the show, and Clifford, gentlemen. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, Joe. Good. Thanks.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So I'll start with Kevin first. Kevin, what do you think about DoorDash shutting down operations? Dynamic. Okay, what's your thoughts on cold weather?
You know what, Pedro? First of all, I'd like to say this. A customer that's not going to tip worth a damn when it's nice and sunny they're not going to tip worth a damn when it's freezing cold, snowy, and icy. Okay? So I think there's some drivers out there that have this illusion that, oh, it's snowing. They're gonna magically just go ahead and tip more. No, I seriously doubt it. And you know what? You have to think about this. If the roads are icy, something called black ice, you can't see it. You hit that shit, you're off in the ditch, and what? You got that little $10 order? It's not really worth it. I understand that a lot of you up north right now are going through this freezing cold shit, and you got bills to pay. But, you might really want to consider about staying off the road at least until it passes. And I understand salt machines and they treat the roads, but some of the side roads that you got to go down, I mean, there might be some that really be treated.
Good points. Good points. Let me kick it to my man, Clifford. Clifford, welcome to the channel. What are your thoughts on tonight's topics?
Well, I kind of agree with what my man just said. Now, one good thing, I'm in Atlanta, so I don't have to experience things like that with the snow and ice, so on and so forth. So that's a good thing for me. I just came in. But if I was in that type of area, I kind of agree. I think that the customer really, they're not going to tip more. Some of them already don't appreciate us. And then are they really going to appreciate us more just because we decide to get in our vehicle and do, like you say, bring them food? They really don't. I think they really don't care. And on top of that, I don't think DoorDash really cares either. It's all about just making sure that that order gets taken care of.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah, I think for me, if DoorDash isn't, $1 dynamic peak pay is kind of silly. Like $1 is not going to do anything for any of us. It's a nice little bonus. $1 is insulting, right? Your point, I think, the consumers, and even Kevin said too, right? The people that are going to show appreciation to us through a tip, they're going to give a little extra. They know it's cold out. But the people that don't tip aren't going to tip regardless of, right? Somebody's got some bad feedback. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Thanks for the 5, Christopher Taylor. $1 you didn't have. Yeah, good point. But $1 dynamic peak pay is crazy, man. Crazy. So Clifford, let me ask you a question. How long have you been in the gig economy out there in Atlanta, my brother?
Oh wow, I've been doing this probably 3 years with DoorDash. Prior to DoorDash, I was with Uber and Lyft doing the rideshare thing.
Okay, yeah. What do you like better, rideshare or food delivery?
I'm going to say the food delivery. And the reason for that is because I really don't have to worry about who's behind me and what their motives are. I've never had a point where I had a Big Mac in my back seat that wanted to rob me. So, I honestly, I prefer the food delivery side of it. It's going backwards though. Just like you say, at one point in time, it was great. And now we're just looking at the base pay just going backwards. So that joy that a lot of us, and I'm gonna speak for myself, the joy that I used to have is kind of fading away to a certain extent. It kind of makes you wonder, is it really worth it? I listen to you a lot, constantly. And I learn a lot from you. So that's something to really, I really prefer the food side of it though.
Yeah. It's definitely, in a lot of ways, definitely safer, easier, less distractions, less to have to think about. I love rideshare. I love picking people up, but it's a different beast, especially nowadays in St. Louis. You really got to have your head on a swivel. You got to be careful. It's a completely different thing, very, very, very different. Gentlemen, anybody else got anything to offer to the chat or the convo? I got the Dashing Kid, Gig Bell Tolls. If you guys got anything, any other comments about the cold weather or customers or what they want to do or not tip or tip, go ahead. The chat is open for you guys to speak.
Who wants to go first? I'm sorry. Is that good?
Let's see. I have a question for you, Pedro. Have you seen any big peak pay, like the past 2 days up there in St. Louis?
So I didn't work today and I didn't work Saturday. When I turned on Friday, we had $3 peak pay for a little while, and I saw that dynamic pay yesterday, but I didn't take advantage of it. But the biggest peak pay that I've seen this week was $5, but that was earlier in the week when the weather wasn't that bad. And I saw some $3 peak pay and then the $1 dynamic. So nothing that was crazy, but that's what I've seen in this week in St. Louis.
Can I
Okay.
possibly add, what is dynamic pay? That's something I haven't seen here in Atlanta.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out to my man Jeff. This guy right here. I just pinned this comment. I've known this man right here since we were like 10 years old. So shout out to my man Jeff in the chat. But Clifford, like you were asking, so dynamic peak pay. So what it is, I'll read it to you because I have it up. I saw it for the first time yesterday. So what DoorDash is telling us dynamic pay is, let me bring it up real quick. Let me find it. Okay. So they're saying $1 added to every completed delivery now. Okay. How this works. You'll get $1 on each delivery you complete when dynamic peak pay is live at the eligible starting point. Since dynamic peak pay doesn't have a set start and end time, it cannot be scheduled. You'll see all live promos, including dynamic peak pay, on the dash page. So this is in addition to if there was peak pay already, right? So I'm thinking dynamic peak pay might have something to do with weather conditions or whatever, and then they kind of add that in as an incentive. I'm not saying that's not from DoorDash. That's my opinion, but I've never seen it before, and I think it's something new, and they're going to put it in certain markets. Other people in the chat said they saw it, and the places that they saw it were also kind of very cold. So I just think it's another form of peak pay to try to get us to go out and do the deliveries. So that's how I took it.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. If anybody else has anything, feel free to jump in. If you got any other comments about the topic tonight, and then we'll keep it moving if nobody's got anything else.
All right. Well, you have a great night. Woohoo! And stay
Appreciate
warm,
that.
everybody.
Yeah, thanks, man.
We will. You do the same, bud.
Hey, Pedro.
Yes, sir.
Couple minutes, you don't mind?
Oh, no problem at all. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Hey, I want to actually speak to drivers out there. Keep in mind that you're in control, and everything what's in here in your mind is what's actually coming on your screen and coming into your wallet. If you're seeing that $10 is good for you, then that's pretty much what you're going to be. But I want to ask a question. Why not $20? Why not $30? Why not $50? Why not $100? Why are we agreeing to these small pays and we hold on to that? Why are we not changing our lives? We're not focusing on something bigger, on something that actually can change your life of your family, life of the people around you. Because, we can complain, we can cry. Oh, DoorDash is not doing this. DoorDash is not doing that. They're in business for themselves. They have right to do whatever they choose to. When they bring you on board and you agree with them on the contract of an app, you're agreeing to those prices. They're not going to give you more than what you agree to. Yes, customer might choose and give you an extra tip. But is that all that you came to this planet for? Is for that $6, for that $10? Is that all what your life is worth? Is just that? That is something I want every single one of you to think about. Because yes, today is a period of time where you might be struggling. You have a situation that you're going through and you need those money. And those money is actually helping you get from a bill to a bill. But I want you guys to think about something bigger, something what's tomorrow, what's after tomorrow. Because these apps, as Pedro has watched, as others have watched, these apps, they change and they don't change into our favor. And as they become less and less attractive, we need to look at the bigger picture. We need to look at something that actually can make your life better. And most of all is ask yourself, why are you here on this planet? What are you here to accomplish? Because every single one of us has came here with a purpose. But through the childhood that grow up, everybody impacted our mind. We created a lot of blocks in our mind. And right now we had so many dreams as kids, but as we growed up, our dreams became so small. And I want to wake every single one of you up. I want to touch that and say, hey, start dreaming again. Start looking for those things that actually can help you fulfill what you're here for to fulfill. That's all I guys want to say. And you guys can find me on my YouTube channel, find my contact It is Slavic D Gig and Business. Or actually, no, I actually changed that. Slavic D. Where is I lost my own, my own name. Maybe somebody can let me put it in there. Slavic D, your personal cash flow coach. I do help people focus on their life and recognize who they are, what they came here for, what are the tools. I'm actually going to show you guys two small stories. First of all, isn't that, and those are examples of you coming into this planet and actually living your life. First person, just imagine you're waking up in the middle in a forest. You look at yourself, you have no clue who you are. You look beside you, something laying beside you, but you have no what it is. But gotta give you an idea. But you are in a camouflage clothes. It's a rifle beside you, but you don't understand what it is. You grab it, you walk to a closest city or town. You walk into the building, and they offer you to be a chef. The rule of the life is you can only use tools that you came with. That means you came with a rifle. You can only use a rifle on your job. So, mixing macaronis with a rifle is still possible, right? Mixing potatoes still possible. But when somebody asks a garden salad and you have to chop the tomatoes and cucumbers, can you actually do a good chop with a rifle? No, you're going to turn that into a mush. Then ask yourself a question. Who's out there going to be willing to pay a top dollar for a mashed salad? Nobody's out there going to be able to pay. And this is actually what happens in our lives. We come into this planet. There is nobody to help us realize who we are, what our skills are. We go and get ourselves a career. We spend the next 20, 40 years trying to do something with the wrong tools. That's why there is a ceiling, and you will never make more than that ceiling. And a DoorDash has that ceiling as well. That's why you cannot break out, because you're most likely not in your skill. But there is few drivers out there that are making 3, 4, 5, 6 times more than you are, because they are right in their own field. They are unique, and they do something the rest of us don't even understand how to do. Next example, to bring all this together, so you guys can understand. You probably have heard of some people never played a piano, sit down, and within half hour they teach themselves to play a piano. These are people that will, with a little bit of help, they'll go worldwide. They will become renowned musicians, and they will get paid a top dollar. Do you think the price for a regular musician and a guy that actually goes world renowned is the same? No, their pay rate is completely different. Then you have a second group of people. These are people that actually throw a lot of money. They get education. They play the, but they will never go and become a world-renowned musicians, because they do not have the skills. They have the skills to learn, but they do not have the skills to actually become the top musicians. Then there's a third group of people. No matter how much you teach them, they will never play. They do not have they're not able to hear the music. They're not able to hear the sound as it changes. That means, so as you guys have seen these two examples I brought over, we need to actually choose. Do we want to stick in a field where we might never hit the top? Or maybe we need to reevaluate, figure out our skills, figure out our capabilities, discover where we're good at. When I met Pedro, about 2 years ago with Pedro, I knew this guy is the bad for YouTube. Look at that. 71,000 subscribers. You don't get a lot of people doing that. How many of you have been trying and you cannot even get 1,000, 2,000? I got what, 660 people or something on my channel for 2 years? Started about what, 7, 8 months later than Pedro did? It's just I do not have those skills. This guy does. He found himself and he's utilizing. Every single one have something we came into this life, something that we can make. There's actually a training that I went through that actually guy explained that every single one of us is so unique that we can do what we came here to do at a level that nobody else will not be able to even duplicate us. Now ask yourself a question. How many people out there be willing to pay a top dollar for something that they cannot do, for something that nobody else cannot do besides you? How much are we willing to pay for those skills? But instead, what are we doing? We're doing what we have not came here to do.
Well, let me ask you this. I think you're right. You know, I talk about these things from time to time, trying to challenge ourselves and one another. You know, but I think it's hard right now because a lot of people are the barrier of entry into gig economies. They make it really easy. They make it easy because these companies know we are always on our phones and they send us notifications. You know, they make it easy to make some kind of money doing it. And it's hard to get out of it sometimes because there's an addictive quality, a gaming quality to all the apps. In my opinion, there is, right? And we have this false sense in some ways of this freedom, right? But do we really have freedom? I see a lot of people working 6-7 days a week, right? Because they have to. So I just think we're in this weird place of people taking advantage of the opportunity of the gig economy, but a lot of us haven't exited it yet because either, hey, we can still make good money, and a lot of people can. Some people in the chat make a good living doing this. But a lot of us, at some point, we got to figure out, okay, how long am I willing to do this? And to Slavic's point, it's like, what's my real calling? Do I want to be doing this, or do I want to be trying something else? Because to Slavic's point, he's saying, hey, everybody has a purpose or something that they're good at, whether it's a skill that's learned or something that was just given to you. I appreciate the passion, man. I haven't seen you in like a year and a half, I think, something like that.
About a year. Because
yeah, about a year. So you bring some great points, man. I you know, it's something that I think about even for myself, and I think maybe even some of us in the chat or some of you guys on the screen, we think about like,
Absolutely.
am I really doing what I either want to do, or am I really capitalizing and taking advantage of my skill set? Because let's be honest, delivering McDonald's is really easy, right? It's not hard, right? And it's something that I sometimes struggle with because I still spend more time doing food delivery than I would like, right? But it's hard to get away from it sometimes for me because it's so easy. It's so convenient for me, at least. I don't know. What about you guys? Gig Bell and the Dashing Kid, what do you guys think about some of the things Slavic was talking about tonight?
Hey, man, Slavic came ready to go. That was some actually really inspiring stuff, dude. Really, it was awesome. Like to hear.
Always ready. He's done this a couple times before with me.
Yeah.
He's always ready.
I mean, Pedro's heard me say this before, but before I came to gig work, I was a cook and I owned a restaurant, and you know, life happened, bad divorce, lost the restaurant, all that crap. So kind of had to reset everything at the age of 40, which is tough, a very tough thing to do.
Yeah.
But I have actually found I'm a pretty decent martial artist, so I think I'm working on switching to that. Like I said, my daughter got me into Taekwondo, and we both do it. We compete together, and I think I'm going to work on that and get better at that, and then just kind of use the gig apps to kind of get myself closer to that. But once I think I'm going to actually start working in the studio that I practice at. So I'm going to just devote my life to my own health, fitness, and I'm more flexible at the age of 40 than I was at 35. So I'm like, yay.
Nice. Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I love it. The Dashing Kid, what do you think, man? What do you think about when you hear some of the things Slavic was saying? Can you relate to any of that currently, where you're at in your life now, and how you use the gig economy? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm actually planning on being a IT tech.
Nice.
I'm going to be planning on starting school for that. I'm trying to get my C+ certification for computer engineering. So that's what I'm working towards.
Love it. And in the gig economy, doing this kind of work is when you're working in the gig economy and you're working towards something, it makes it more palatable. You know, it's a good thing. I like that. And I think for some people, and some people even in the chat, like Ceci was saying, and Omar, they're gonna work this until either retirement or to whenever. I think that's fine too. That's the benefit of doing this kind of work, is if you can make it work for you and that's what you want to do and you're hitting your goals. And let's say you're somebody that only does it 30 hours a week, but you're able to pay your bills, and then you take that other time and you're doing other things that you like, whether it's Taekwondo or spending time with your family, traveling. That's the benefit of it. But I always like having these kind of combos because I think we have to remind ourselves this kind of work is very day to day, order to order, and it keeps us that way. And it's like a game in that way with these peak pays and dynamic pays and this and that, the changing of this and the tier programs. They keep us kind of guessing, but I've always thought that at the end of the day, we still have that responsibility to understand what the apps are, adapt and pivot and make it work for us. And hopefully we're working towards something so that, it makes it not as bad, because sometimes it can feel bad. So, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to go to the next part of the show. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much. Have a good rest of the night. Slavic, great seeing you tonight. The Dashing Kid, appreciate you coming on. Gig Bell Tolls, always a pleasure, brother. Thank you.
Hey, Pedro, just a couple more seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
For those of you that want to contact me, I'm also this year set a goal, take 50 people to 10,000 a month of income within 1 year. If any of you guys want to change your life and do something, this is where I'm going to be working with a group, putting you in a group as well as one-on-one. So you guys can actually find me on my channel, on my website. It is slavicd.com. And hey, guys, appreciate you guys. Whatever you guys choose in your life, just admit it that it's your choice and you have to live with it. Don't blame anybody for it.
Oh, hey, listen, I say that often, and some people don't like when I say that, but I am with that. I think we can control more for ourselves as individuals than any other entity or a group of people can do for us. I'm definitely with you on that 100%. And I'll check the website out, brother. Good seeing you. You still got my number. Hit me up this week, man.
All right. Take care, man. Be blessed. And everybody else, be blessed and be successful.
Thanks, man. Slavic D coming in with the cameo. I haven't seen him for a while. Always great to see an old friend. I haven't talked to him in a little bit, but looks like he's doing well. I love that. I love that. I love that. So let me stay in the chat, give some shout outs. I saw Steve right here. Rodeo popped in. What's up, brother? Edith Santiago. Thunder still in the house. AEMT444. Thanks for being a new channel member. The latest and greatest. Rick as well. New channel member. Lessa, Cheeky Chops, what's up, what's up? Jesse, hello, how are you? Hope you're staying warm wherever you are. I think you're on the East Coast. Gigs popped in tonight. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Mary, let's see. I think I missed Dub TV 33. What's up, what's up? Hector, True Papi Chulo's in the chat. I saw Bobby in here. Trout, Johnny Kneecab. Who else? Any other new names I saw? My man, Jeffrey Scholes. And I see Christopher Taylor in here. Appreciate y'all. So yeah, what do you guys think, man? I gave you guys the screenshot of the dynamic peak pay, dollar dynamic. Listen, let me give a little hell to DoorDash sometimes, okay? I think they should. I think it's okay for them to shut down operations. I think many apps do it. I think if the weather's that bad where it's a safety issue, they should not be open. That's my opinion. Now, if it's really cold out, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a safety issue. But for me, if your marketplace and the conditions are not good on the road, shut it down. Like that's how I look at it. I do think companies have a responsibility to do that and think about the people that are helping them make money. For me, I think it's bad if they're gonna say, here's an extra $1. Like, what the fuck is that? Like that's crazy, right? That's not, and even to some other people's points, if it's an extra 10, that might make you want to go out. But is it really that worth it? If the base pay or the peak pay goes up to $10, something's wrong. Think about that for a second. When the base pay goes up that high, because that's high base pay, I don't expect, let me also be very clear, I do not expect base pay to be $10 on food delivery. I don't. You guys could disagree with me. I don't expect that. To me, that's extra. That's just a bonus. That's like you're lucky. But if the base pay ever goes up that high, something's wrong. Something's wrong with the marketplace. Something's wrong with the merchant. Something's wrong with the situation. That customer had a bad experience and 4 Dashers declined it. So something is broken. And when you throw money at problems, you never fix the root cause of the issue. Right? That's how I look at it. Because we got to remember, okay, if it's negative 20 degrees in Kansas City and somebody's ordering Taco Bell because they're hungry and they don't want to go out, fantastic. But I'm going to tell you what. A, if that person don't tip, they're a clown. B, that's not an essential thing. Now, I will say this, though. There are people that need essential items and it's cold out and they really need them. So we're coming in, stepping in and delivering them some batteries that they need, something that they need that they would have gotten themselves, but it's so cold and they're old or they're whatever, and they really need it. And they want to leave a tip because they love us, right? And in those situations, when DoorDash might shut down or any app, that sucks for the consumer. So hopefully they have a family member or somebody else can come in and give them what they need. Because some places, man, it might be cold for a few days and some little old lady or something might not have what she needs and she wants to use the service, but it's shut down. And the real question is, should we put our livelihood at risk for a couple of dollars? No, we shouldn't. We should be set up. I hope, and I know some of you guys are fine, and I know many of you in the chat, if the weather's bad tomorrow, you got your money okay to where you don't have to work tomorrow. That's a good thing. That's a win. I want you to put a W in the chat right now, a W for a win. If you can afford to take tomorrow and how many days off, because if it's bad weather or you need a day off and you set yourself up to where you missing one day of work ain't gonna make a break, you put a W in the chat. That's a W. That's a win. Because some of us don't have that luxury, maybe, right? But if you don't have to go out, don't go out. It's not worth it. Some $1 peak pay from DoorDash and this kind of new stuff, and no, not worth it. I see a lot of W's. W, exclamation point from a man, Big Carl. Jersey man, W. We should all be having W, I hope. Because it's not worth going out and risking anything. I don't care what the peak pay is. I don't care what, we have to be setting ourselves up as independent contractors, small business owners, whatever we call ourselves, okay? We should be able to take those days off where we don't have to go out in bad weather. That's how I look at it. That's just how I look at it, right? And these companies will do everything they can to make sure that Taco Bell gets delivered, that McDonald's, whether there's a tip or no tip, peak pay, no peak pay, dynamic peak pay, whatever. DoorDash don't care. So when I see them shutting down operations, I look at that as that they do care sometimes. That's a good thing because they can keep it on regardless, and people will go out, work, and have things delivered, and DoorDash will get their 30% or 15% or whatever the percentage is from the merchant. So when they shut down, I look at that as a W. When they try to give you peak pay and the weather's bad, and it's like dynamic pay and it's only, not good. I look at that as a loss. But I hope y'all are throwing W's up because we have to start looking at that money and how we can set ourselves up okay. Right now, as small business owners, independent contractors, free thinkers, we should all know, this is my one challenge to you guys tonight. You should know how much time you could take off to where you're not in a critical bad spot, right? So a lot of you guys might work every day or 4 days a week, or maybe you do it part-time and you got $300 a month coming in, let's say, because some of you guys do it part-time, right? We should know how much you can afford not to work in the gig economy and still be okay. How long? Is it a day? Is it a week? Is it a month? You should know that. That's important. You're having financial literacy in that brain and realizing how often, like how much do I really need to work? What else can I do? Like that's important. The average American doesn't have an extra like $800. I read something somewhere like 40 something percent, maybe even more than that, doesn't have an extra $800. Appreciate the 10. Thank you very much. Let me read this comment real quick. Or Joshua, thank you for the 10. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. We should know that though, right? We should know that. We should know that I shouldn't have to be forced to do something for some $1 dynamic peak pay because I want to make an extra. Think about that. Okay. So if you do 10 orders in a few hours, DoorDash just gave you $10 extra to go work in maybe not great conditions. That's not good. $10, that's not enough. But what number is enough? To other people's point that were in the chat tonight, what number is enough? I don't know. If I open up Instacart, it's going to be cold tomorrow. My plan is to work. The weather here is just cold. It's not bad. Conditions aren't horrible. But let's say they were, and I open up Instacart tomorrow, and there's like a $200 guaranteed. 5 batches, $200. No, that'd be really good. Because I'm going to get 200 guaranteed plus whatever tips. Oh, man, that 200 is probably going to be 300 or close to it for 5 batches. Ooh, I can make 300 $250 to $300 and 5 batches on Instacart. That's probably 4 hours, maybe. I'm getting maybe 4. Well, that's good money. $250 that's great. But if the conditions are bad, is it really bad? Is it really worth it? An extra $250 in my bank account, but I got in a car accident. I sprained my ankle. I did this. I was fucked. We have to be willing to take a day off. Sometimes they're called loss leaders. Business owners know that. Sometimes you got to take an L to get a W later on, y'all. We have to be willing to know that, right? We have to be willing to know that. Let's read the chat here. $10 will fool some people, though, I believe. Yeah. Smoking a joint and playing Madden, says Big Carl. Yeah. I don't know who Grotesque Subhuman 3 is, but I don't know what that means. Chuck, what Desk Across America? Those people who don't have 800 in the bank order DoorDash. Woo! Let me highlight that comment. Let me highlight that comment from my man Dashing Across America. Where's it at? Can I find it? Maybe it's gone. Is it gone? I don't think I can find it. It's gone. That's true. A lot of customers that do DoorDash don't have 800. You're so right. And I get some heat from some consumers and maybe even some of y'all. I have a very strong opinion. I believe if your financial situation isn't good, and that will be different for everybody. My financial situation is different than yours and everybody in the chat. We all have different bills, and we're retired or not retired. We have different ways of living. We have car payments. We don't have car payments. I don't have a car payment. I don't have any car payment. There's a lot of bills I don't have that you guys have. So I can look at things differently. I get that, right? But if you're not good in your financial situation, you should never fucking order DoorDash. I'll debate anybody. I'm trying to set up a show with some more customers for you guys. I think you guys like that. Plus, I think we can learn from customers, right? And I think they can learn from us. We did that last week. And I like that conversation to have with my man Joe, actually. We did that. We taught him something. He asked questions. We learned a little bit of his perspective. But at the end of the day, if your financial situation is not great, DoorDash should be the last thing on your mind. It should. I believe that. Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart should be the last thing on your mind if your finances are not okay. It just should. And I know a lot of Americans struggle, but a lot of us struggle because we put ourselves in that situation. Can I get an amen? Preach. Listen. A lot of Dashers struggle as well because we put ourselves in that situation. A lot of people struggle, but we don't know what the root cause is. Appreciate that 99. Who's that from? Let me check it out real quick. Jose, what's up, brother? Thank you, man. Appreciate the super sticker very, very much. We have to start looking at the money differently, our movements differently. Consumers do as well. Because I'll tell you what, if you got $50 in your bank account, and listen, I've been there. This guy right here, I've been there. A lot of you guys have as well, down to my last $50. I've been there. If that's all I got and I order DoorDash, I'm a clown. If all you got is $50 and you order DoorDash, you are a clown. I'm sorry. It is what it is. That's my opinion, but it's also a fact. We got to start making better decisions. So when we talk about going out when it's cold, weigh all your risks and make good decisions. I think DoorDash makes a good decision if they shut down operations if the weather is really, really, really bad and it's a safety issue. If it's just cold, it's just cold. But I'm okay for that. I think we got to take that greed and take it down a little bit and realize not all money is good money. Not all money is good money. And if you got only $50 in your bank account, I hear you. Take your ass to Aldi's. I got to make this video because I mentioned this. I can go to Aldi's tomorrow and feed my family for 1 week. Would I love everything that we're eating? No, but we eat. You need to eat out of nutrition for nutrition. Not every meal needs to be out of gluttony. And most of the things that we're delivering to people like Dashing Across America said, they ain't got a lot, but they expect us to do a lot. And I'm anti that. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Safety first. We got to just something for y'all to think about. If you're in an area and the weather's, do you really need to make that $100? If you really need to make it, boom, go make it. Make sure you got extra blankets in your car. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure your tires are good. Make sure you have the equipment you need. Make sure you're bundled up. Make sure you got a couple pair of socks on. All these things. Be prepared. But if you really don't need that extra 100, fuck the apps. Don't turn the motherfuckers on. Leave them off. Leave them off. Leave them off. No amount of money is worth your safety. Yeah, Chuck in the house. What up, what up? The Happy Clam says, if you don't got a year's cushion in the bank, you shouldn't be ordering out. A year's cushion? I don't know about that. I would say less. I would say less than 1% of America has a year's cushion in the bank. I feel pretty strong about that statement. Yeah. Let's say a year's cushion is what? $75,000 to $100,000. Yeah, most people ain't got that. Listen, if you in the chat, there's 273 of y'all in here. Be honest, don't do it for clout. If you have $100,000 in the bank right now, or $100,000 you have that you could have tomorrow, put a 1 in the chat. Who's got $100K right now? I'm joking. Don't do that. A year would suck. What up, yeah? When I do DoorDash, I only do fast food because it's the area I feel the most safest in. Says up trout fishing. Okay, fisherman. Katie says 1. I got 100,000. The Happy Clown says I got 1. Porky says she. Sergeant Bricks 1. Haha, definitely not me, says Jen. I would never tell you what I have. Cassandra, you don't have to. -1 says Teal, bro. Jesse says I consider a year's cushion the minimum you need for rent, bills, food, and gas. More like 20K. Oh, you know what? That's a better way to look at it. Minimum. Yes, minimum. Better way to look at it. 20K though? How much you paying for rent? 12 months in a year? Average rent's probably what? 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 in some places. So you're gonna need more than 20K just for that, just for the rent, right? I mean, it's gotta be then 50K. You gotta eat, you gotta pay your bills, you got phone bill, the basic necessity, like, you know, it's gotta be closer to 50 in my opinion. Don't lie, people. That's funny. So I said 6 months. There you go. I think that's reasonable. You better off playing the lottery, man, than doing DoorDash. It's self-seeker. Don't fumble the bag trying to impress people. Ooh, that's a strong statement, and I like that. I pay $700 utility. What? You pay $700 in rent, utilities included? Holy, that's like a steal. Jeffy says, would be nice. It would be nice. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to give financial advice on here because I'm not a financial channel, but I will say this. The one financial advice I do give consumers, if you ain't got the means, don't order. And DoorDash drivers out there, only take orders that are worth your time. I mean, that's at the basis level, as simple as this form. I think that's fair. I think that's good. That's how I look at it. Let me stay in the chat with y'all for a little bit. Recent comments. I'll put some up on the screen. Thanks for the super sticker, Jose. 100K is a lot to me. I keep my cost of living low. Yeah, yup. I mean, great point. I think a lot of people, when we talk about money, it's all about your bills and relative to you. I know a lot of people that might make a lot of money. You might make $500K a year, but if you got a lot of debt and fancy cars, you have to keep up with all that. So you have to make that money. And there are other people that might make $70K a year, right? $50K a year, right? Significantly less than 500, but they don't have fancy cars. Their rent is $700 with utilities. They eat within their means. They don't buy fancy handbags and clothes and all. So they're good. They're comfortable. They're chilling. They're able to also save a little bit, right? So it's all relative to your situation and what you acquire or require or what you prioritize. Do you have kids? Do you not have kids? That's the difference. Are you alone? Are you single? Are you married? Does your wife or husband have a good job with benefits? All these things go into that. So when somebody's like, I make this kind of money, it's all relative to your situation. Right here is 2,200. So you're probably on the East Coast or the West Coast, right? Exactly. A lot of people have car payments and shit and credit cards that, yeah, I legit would like. I don't pay for anything unless I have the cash. If I don't have the cash in the bank, I don't buy it. I've had that mindset for about 10 years. Living below your means is key. Big A's podcast. Let me tell you what. You know what I tell Madison and some of my friends all the time? I act like I'm broke. I'm not broke. I'm not rich, but I'm not broke. Okay, there's a difference. I act like I'm broke though. I count my nickels and dimes, and I try to, there's certain things that are luxury that we like to have, but my luxury could be different than yours. But I move like I'm broke. I move like I'm broke. Like I move like I'm broke. And part of that is, I don't have to work DoorDash tomorrow, but I still give them my time and the other apps, whatever, Uber, Instacart, because it's still worth it. I don't want to be broke. I can sit around for a while and not work. Let me tell you this right now. Because of the other ways to make money, I don't have to do DoorDash in the whole entire year. 2024. I don't need to turn the app on once. I don't need to do one order. But I still do it because it allows me to not get broke or, not feel the pressure of that. Thomas, appreciate that. Let me highlight that comment real quick. Oh, man, where's it? I don't know. Let me find it. Put up on the screen real quick. Man, you guys, the chat's flying. Here we go. Let me read this comment. I dashed full-time. This is from Thomas. Thanks for the 5. I dashed full-time for a year and then got a trucking job, but just got laid off. Back to dashing. Glad you're still on here and keep me motivated. Hey, I'm sorry you got laid off, man. But I'm glad you still have an opportunity. You're coming back to it. I'm sure you're going to maybe try to get back into trucking. Sorry that happened. I thought they were looking for truckers, man. It's crazy. I move like I'm broken. We act broke so we don't get robbed. All the money I make on DoorDash goes into savings account. Love that. Balling on a budget. Oh, my man Jeff, he balls on a budget. He balls on a budget. Pedro isn't necessarily rich off YouTube. I didn't say I was. I am not rich off YouTube, y'all. But you have to understand, when I talk about having other ways to make money and not having DoorDash your only way or the gig economy, there's reasons I say that because it can become a game changer. And that could be different for everybody. There's a lot of ways to make money in this country, passively and actively. Find out what works for you and do that, right? Slavic, appreciate you for coming in, man. Thank you very much. Christopher Taylor says, why commercials in the middle of the live? Just hit skip, man. Just hit skip. It's a new thing with YouTube. I run a show over here. And a lot of you guys watch. Thank you very much. And it's a way to support the channel. If you watch a commercial, great. But any of your favorite shows that you like to watch, there's commercials. If you watch a sports game, there's a commercial. If you listen to the radio, there's a commercial. YouTube is no different. That's the best way I can answer it. If you're bothered by it, I totally respect that, though. But think about it. Everything has commercials, guys. So, yeah. Oh, small family owned. Got it. Okay. Got it. Rob the rich 1% people. Yeah. Have a rental and that helps with cash flow. Love that, Jones. Love that. Survive and Thrive says, I wish we can get these drivers who take trash orders to stop. It will never stop. I hear you, though. I hear you. It's not going to stop. Yeah, where's Bud Soda? Rick said, yeah, you know what, guys? You guys can get premium. I think it was $9.99 a month. I have it. I think it went up. Rick, what is it now? Is it like up to $14.99? But you could see any YouTube on anything with no ads, but you pay for that every month. And there's a lot of other benefits to it too. So check out the premium option if you don't like the ads. But hey, I mean, it does cost money though, which sucks. Appreciate that. The Dashing Kid says, I learned to manage my money better getting into gig economy, really gained a hustler mentality. I love that. This is a good way to become better with your finances because we have to budget differently. We have to pay ourselves. You got to pay the tax man. You got to put something aside. You got to have a rainy day fund for the car. Like we have to look at our numbers in a different way than some W-2 people do, that where the numbers might be taken care on your pay stub from your company. We don't have that luxury. So it's a great way to kind of learn how to run a P&L, how to run your little business, right? It's a good way for that on a very simple level, but it can help a lot of people, I think. I'm a YouTube addict, says Porky. When you have YouTube Premium, I could see who has it, and YouTube still pays the creator something from that premium, right? So, yeah, I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, the creator that's making content on YouTube still gets money from your view if you're premium without watching the ads. If you don't have YouTube Premium, creators like myself and everybody else on YouTube will make money if you watch ads, if you click on certain things. The advertisers value certain channels based on views and clickage and demographic and all that. I'm not an expert on it, but that's how it was explained to me. So appreciate y'all. And I hope you guys liked the show tonight. We had some good combos. If you're in a market, you might start seeing something called dynamic peak pay. It's a peak pay, but it's like a separate peak pay. And I saw it in St. Louis. It was $1. I'm like, what? And then last night I tried to order something and it said, whoops, can't get this delivered. 7-Eleven shut down, I guess, their delivery, or they turned off the tablet. I don't know what they did, but DoorDash was still running orders last night. But some merchants, my options were less. And I think it's because maybe some places closed, tablets were off. I'm not sure why. So DoorDash didn't shut down operations in St. Louis, but some merchants did. And then I saw with Dollar Dynamic Peak Pay, I was like, let's talk about this, because I know weather is in a lot of places right now, weather is it's impacting a lot of people. Helene says, I find it very interesting that most orders, the majority I see, is for a single eater versus a family. Good point. Just goes to show singles and apartments may have more disposable income than families. That is, yes, I see a lot of orders from a local sushi joint, a poke bowl joint, a pizza or whatever, right? A burrito from Chipotle, a Raisin Cane's combo, and I'm delivering it's one meal. It's a great point. And I think it's young and older people, but they might have more disposable income than some families. Because when you have a family, you got more bills, right? Great point. And a lot of times, yeah, you'll see tips or not tips on there. Sometimes the runs are worth it. Sometimes they're not. Yeah. Jersey man, definitely not. A laundromat is never going to be in my wheelhouse. Appreciate that, FGOO, $5. Let me read this comment real quick. I'm a mechanic. I really want the Dashers to lower running costs by learning how to do your own routine maintenance. Yeah, big help. I've done some things myself, but I've also taken my car to get some brake work done, rotors, various other, like I had to get a catalytic converter last year. That was a big expense I paid for in my car. I think it was like $1,100. Everything else has been kind of minor. But if you can learn how to even just do your brake pads and your oil changes, you save a lot of money. Shout out to the mechanics out there doing hard work. Danny says, I've been posting up in Eville by the college, and them kids spending good money and tip well. Love that. You found a little honey hole. I love that. 2 professional people will make more than a single person, and they won't spend money on DoorDash. It depends. Single people make, I guess it depends what you think professional is. If you're talking professional, like they make good money, yeah, maybe. Self-wash car washes? No, I'm good. I'm not getting into any of that. I'm good. Listen, I'm a content creator. This channel will continue to grow. I'll continue to make money doing this and other things. Jody says, it depends how close you are to retirement. Great point. We are 10 years away, and if we didn't have a good amount in IRAs, we'd be idiots. Dashiell Womble, good night, Pedro. Great show. Appreciate that, mate. Hope you're doing well. Are you still in KC, man? It's been cold. Woo. Hope you're doing good. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great night. Apps are good for me part-time, but I enjoy 401. Man, I'm telling you, I think this kind of work, because the gig economy is going to continue to grow in a lot of other sectors. The gig economy, to me, if you start full-time and you're hustling and you're working towards something, that could be great. And then you come back to it like our truck driver friend in here said, right? Thomas, I think his name was. But part-time, fold it in with another way of making money, whatever that means for you. Whether it's you got another side hustle, another gig, you have a business, you have some savings, 401k, you got investments, whatever it is. You have a W-2, you have but part-time gig economy is, to me, the best way to do it. It's my opinion. It's not shot to any full-timers. I'm still doing it kind of at a full-time level, right? But that won't be my forever. But I think part-time is the way to go. And some of us, it might take us a little longer to figure out what that other form of income is going to be, and that's okay. because you can still make money doing this, and your part-time might be, your full-time might be extended, right? But that's how I look at it. Nicole Face Paints, what's up? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you out there in beautiful LA? I hope to see you in March. I'll be back at GateCon. I think that's who it is, right? Yeah. Nicole Face Paints, shout out to you. Hope you're doing well. Can you talk about your other side hustles? Well, Jack, I have vending machines. I make money on YouTube. I do some coaching on the side, sports coaching clinics, and then obviously we make money actively in the gig economy. We have affiliates and some sponsors and things as well on the YouTube. We make money off that. So I have Dashing Now. That's what's up. I have 5 different ways that I make income. 2 of them are active. Well, I guess YouTube's kind of active, but it's active and passive. Pedro, what do you want to do full time? What do you want to do full time, Pedro? Says Mo Hamdi. Oh, man. I go back and forth with this. I would love to continue to make content on YouTube and do that full time, but that's not going to be what I'm going to do. I'll continue to do that, but for me, I want to speak. I want to continue to meet people all over the country or the world and speak, share my story, give motivation, inspiration. I feel like I'm very good at that. I feel like that's my calling. I feel like I can share my story. I feel like I can have great conversations with individuals, whether it's on a one-on-one basis like I do now, or in front of 100 people or 10,000 people. I feel like that's what I will be doing. That's what I'm growing towards. That's going to be the way that I'm the most impactful in the world. It's going to be the way that I'm the most impactful for myself, my family, and my finances. So I hope that answers your question. Great question. Thank you for that. My main source is quality control on roofing projects and roofing sales. Ooh, nice. Todd says, you have another app similar to Moves that you would recommend to us? I'm so sad that Moves is closing. Love that. I do not, Todd. Nope. I do not. Let's go. No tip, no dash. Yeah. Soon Lambo moderator. What's up? You gave yourself your own moderator wrench, it looks like. I rolled all weekend in hurricane type conditions and 80% still trash. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Robbie, seminars. Yeah, similar to that. Yep. Never. Oh, that's a funny comment. I like it. I know you're smiling right now too. That's never going to happen. I'll leave it at that. So many people have tried. I'm Teflon, bro. This is YouTube. It's entertainment. It's never going to happen. Dashing Grandpa, my YouTube grandpa. I'm way late, but figured I'd jump in and say howdy. How you doing, Dashing Grandpa? Love that you're here. Oh, I know you're smiling. Making money on your own terms is the most rewarding. It absolutely is for me. But money to me isn't the most important. It's not the thing that keeps me like motivated. I'm not motivated by money, if that makes sense. I enjoy making it, but I'm not motivated by money. I'm motivated by results and impact. Dash Your Life Hawaii. What's up, brother? Yeah, long stream today, man. How you doing? You still out there hustling? So those are the topics we had tonight. I think I wanted to keep the show at about a 2-hour mark tonight. Where are we at here? We're at almost at 2 hours. So we're going to rock for another about 20 minutes. 12 minutes. If you guys got some questions, put them in the chat. Appreciate all the super chats, the super stickers tonight. Thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate all the thumbs up. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm still going to dash part-time for extra money. Love that. That's what I think. If this is the way you're making extra money, or you're doing this to pay a bill or to buy a car or to do this or whatever, like I think it's the best way to do DoorDash and Uber Eats and Instacart. That's how I look at it. I think that's going to be the most impactful long term for us as far as our money. Doing it for extra cash money it's still valuable. You can still do that and be okay if you're doing it for extra cash. I think a lot of us that struggle are doing it. We're doing it for a long time, and most of us, we're not built like Dash Your Life Hawaii, running 16, 17 hours a day. Shout out to him. But most of us aren't going to want to do that and shouldn't do that, right? But if you need to do that, you can take his blueprint, do that for a year or two, and stack some paper and get yourself out of debt maybe, which is a great way to do DoorDash as well, right? Rick, thank you very much. Appreciate the compliment. Solid Live. Thank you. I hope you guys are getting, if you're getting value from it, hit the thumbs up. Appreciate y'all very, very much. From the Jersey Shore, yes. Thomas says, add me if you want to chop it up. I don't think you've ever spoke with anyone in a market like Iowa. I know a couple people in Iowa, Thomas, but definitely, yeah, I don't have that. Hit me on IG, Mr.BetonYou on Instagram. My girlfriend kind of runs that. I don't really look at it a lot, but people can DM me, and that's, you know, a good way to get a hold of me there. My man Jeffrey, is this? Hold up, this has to be. This is like one of my best friends. Hold on, Jeff, put a thumb up if that's really you in the chat. If it's who, yeah, has to be. He says the dashing kid is a good point. Too broke to tip, make a sandwich. That's what I say. Make a sandwich. Hashtag, put hashtag make a sandwich in the chat, y'all. Hey Pedro, have you formed a corporation? Yes, not a corporation, but something similar to that. What days do you do the inspiration hour? I forgot. Edith, how are you? Salute. How's your husband? Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Every Wednesday we do a motivational hour. It's usually about 45 minutes or so to an hour. And we talk about other things not related to DoorDash, just life and just motivating each other. It's hump day. It's the middle of the week. Let's try to get the positive energy flowing. We do that every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern. You know, man, Jeff put a thumbs up in the chat. He didn't, did he? I don't even, that has to be. There he is. That's my boy. Survive and thrive. Make a sandwich, make a sandwich, make a sandwich. Yes. Pedro should start a DoorDash union, says Todd. Oh, man. Yeah. Let's talk on that for a minute. Unions can be impactful. I've never been a part of one. I've known family members that were in unions. They've had good things to say. They've had bad things to say. I'll say this, and I hope y'all don't take this the wrong way. That's not something that I would do. But I think if I was passionate enough about that, I could definitely be the voice for the people in that regard. I'm very confident in that, but I'm not passionate. So, but when I get behind something, yeah, I could be impactful. And I think some of the people that are doing that, right, that are leading these strikes or whatever, they're pretty passionate, you know. And sometimes I think I see some things work, but I'm not in those realms, so I can't really say 100%. But it doesn't seem like it is because these apps are still screwing us over. So I don't know. Pedro and Hannibal show is awesome. Yes, a Monday night, Monday and Wednesday. Pedro and Hannibal show. Somebody wants to drop a link to that, you can. Monday and Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. We talk about all kinds of stuff, not the gig economy, fatherhood, dating, relationships, sports, hip hop, culture. We talk about locales. We talk about weird topics, trending topics, dating. We talk about all kinds of stuff. We have a great time. Shout out to Hannibal. A gallon, maybe 2 gallon, buddy, if it ain't much trouble. The Amazing Hustler says, question. You broke with only 40 Uber Eats coupon, fee, money, and enough for 0.40 tip, 40-cent tip. A chick wants to Netflix and chill. Do you order the eats with no tip or make a sandwich with ramen noodles? This is a fair question. So you're talking about, okay, you're broke with only $40. Let me keep it a buck with you, the Amazing Hustler. If I'm broke with only $40, I'm not Netflixing and chilling. I ain't Netflix. If I only got $40, the reason I got only 40 might be because I'm doing too much Netflix and chill and I'm focused on the wrong thing. So, but if I was, yeah, I'm making a sandwich of ramen. If she's the kind of chick that's not good enough for her, I ain't trying to hit. I hope that answered your question. It's about as real as I can get. Oh, Jeffrey says, I can test Pedro knows how to make a good sandwich. Oh, bro, I can throw down. My man Jeff knows what's up. No, $40. Hold up. No, $40 Uber Eats coupon. Oh, and you're saying you can only tip 40 cents? Nah, listen. If you can only tip 40 cents, you ain't ordering. You can't order. You can't do it. You better have some cash. You can't buy for 2 people on DoorDash for 40. That's a good point. It'd be hard. Maybe some McDonald's, maybe like 1 or 2 value meals with the fees will probably get you to $40. But yeah, if I only have $40, my problem, I ain't trying to Netflix and chill. I need to hustle. If I only got it, or if I don't have money to tip and it was a coupon, my focus still ain't on the punani. I'm trying to go out there and make some money. Pedro make a video teaching us all how to make a sandwich. $40 Uber Eats coupon, not cash. You got no cash? Listen. Use the coupons, use them credits, but you still gotta put a tip in somehow. Still gotta tip in. But if I'm that broke and I can't leave my driver some dollars, my focus is on the wrong thing. If I'm that broke and I'm worried about getting some Wingstop, some Chick-fil-A, some McDonald's, some Papa John's, if I'm broke and that's what I'm thinking about, that's why you're broke. I'll debate anybody about this. If you're focusing too much on food and and you want somebody to bring you something, that's why you're broke. That's why you're broke. You're focused on the wrong thing. You're spending time and energy and money on the wrong thing. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm going to get some more customers on here for y'all. And we're going to have some of these conversations with people that feel like and I'm going to interview. I might interview them at their homes and show you how broke these people are. And they're trying to have me deliver some Uber Eats to them and not give me $1. Get the fuck out of here. Yes, Thomas. Yeah, if you type in Mr.BetonYou on Instagram, it should pop up. I don't really do a lot on there, but you can DM me on there. Or you can email me. My email's in the About section of my page. You can reach me that way as well. The emails are harder to catch because I get buried with those. So, good question though, Hustler. I like that question, Dennis. I like that a lot. I like good questions that make you think a little bit. I like that. Who else got one? Anybody else got? I'll answer any question. The customer is not always right. I've said that. Yep, I've said it a lot. That's the old 1980s marketing bullshit. The customer is not always right, and the dasher's not always right. The merchant's not always right. We gotta look at things at face value for individuals and individuals. We can't. The customer is not always right. I 100% very passionate about that statement. Fluff or mutter. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. If anybody else got some questions, drop them in the chat. Hit the thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the super chats and the super stickers tonight. You're 100% spot on the tip thing. Oh, I know I am. And I'm see live vids. I'm gonna get more customers on here because I think people have their they got shit twisted nowadays. They expect us to do favors for them, and it's like, and they're most of the time they're broke. And I'll go in on the rich people. I'll listen. I'll interview somebody or get somebody that's got money, that has me, and I'll go in on them too. I will. It ain't about broke people, because like I said last week, you're either broke in your heart, your mind, and your soul, or you're broke in your wallet. That's it. Peter, do any of the restaurants you pick up from ever hook you up with free food, free ice cream? Eric, yeah, sometimes I get some free, like there's this Thai place that gives me like the free iced chai lattes. Papa John's hooked me up sometimes, not with free food, but like a super discount. Like I can get a pizza for like $5. There's a few places, not a lot, but sometimes. I can walk into most places. If I ask for a drink, they're going to give me a drink. I rarely do that, but yeah. If you have a goal of 100,000 gross for the year, is it possible to hit? If so, what apps would you use? Oh, 100,000, you could definitely hit it. You're probably gonna. The way I would do a $100,000 goal is I'd work 6 days a week. I'd give myself 1 day a week off. I'd work 6 days a week. I'd work 10, 12-hour days, and you can hit 100K. I think you could do it with rideshare, Instacart, DoorDash, a mix of those, Uber Eats, yeah. But to sustain it for a whole year, you're going to have to give yourself 1 day off. So work 6 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day, whatever. On some days, maybe a little bit more. Some days, a little bit less, because things are going to happen. Life's going to happen. But you have to give yourself 1 day off so you don't burn yourself out. Because if you start that in January, by the time you get to June, you might be burnt out. Or you might look at the money and be like, oh, I'm so. 6 days a week, work your time, work a schedule, stick to that, follow the money. Give yourself 1 day off a week, whatever day that is in your market. Maybe it's Monday, Tuesday, maybe it's Sunday. 1 day. You have to have 1 day off a week, and I think you could do it. I think that's going to be more realistic to hit with a 6-day work week than a 7. How do you feel about the new platinum tier thing? It's not here in St. Louis, but I've seen it. I hear that unless you get platinum, you get all trash stores. Yeah, I think it sucks, but I think you have to figure out if it's going to be worth for you in your market. What's your favorite sandwich? Good question. I like that question. I love a toasted. I love sandwiches. Always, I like a toasted sandwich. If I'm making it myself at home, I'm going to toast my bread, mayonnaise, a little bit of mustard. I can do turkey, ham, bacon, lettuce, tomato. I'm good. Or a tuna sandwich. Good question. No problem. You're welcome. Fried bologna. I'll fuck with some Spam. I don't really do bologna, but I'll eat some Spam. I would tear up some Spam. I'm platinum and it's difficult to maintain it. So they have that platinum in LA? That's crazy. I would imagine it would be difficult. Oh, peanut butter J always hits, Todd. That'd probably be my second choice. PB&J is so good. Cuban sandwich is great, but that's not, to make a good Cuban, you might not have everything you need to make a good Cuban the right way. But if I know right now I can go upstairs and make a damn good sandwich, PB&J or turkey ham or something, yeah. I don't have any Cocos right now, though, so I couldn't do it. I can make a PB&J, though. Barbecue pork sandwich, okay. Performance content, 100K a year would be something like 2,000 a week. That's rough. Yeah, it's less than that, but it's possible. It's possible. We see some people do it, but it's. I don't recommend it unless you're doing it for 1 year and you have a hard stop and there's a specific goal and reason you're doing it. My grandfather buried his Spam in the Pacific. What? I don't know. Carne asada, torta. Okay. Meatball sandwich. Yeah, meatballs hit. Yeah, people mess up. Eve knows what's up. Minnesota is where Spam is made. Is it really? So Spam came. Spam was from one of the world wars, right? Was it World War II or was it the Vietnam? When did it become popular? I thought it was one of the wars. I heard something about Spam. I'm not going to go on that tangent right now. Grilled cheese with, Christopher Taylor smack. I had tomato soup tonight, and I didn't make a grilled cheese, but I actually took bread, toasted it, put provolone, and ate it and dunked that. I didn't grill it though all the way, but grilled. That's right there too. That's probably third then. A grilled cheese is probably third. Yeah, great one there. Rick says I got my stats back and will be Top Dasher eligible next month. I have noticed a big improvement. Listen. AR matters. It is what it is. If you don't believe it, you're just not hip to it yet. It definitely does matter, especially if you only have DoorDash. Grilled cheese with tomato soup is so good. It's so fantastic. Had a BLT yesterday. It's just funny we're talking about sandwiches because I went live yesterday and Madison texted me. She wanted a BLT and I went to Aldi, got the stuff after the live, came home, we made BLTs. So BLTs there too. God dang. Okay. But usually when I'm making a sandwich, I'm making it quick. I'm not trying to put I want to make it quick. That's a good thing about a sandwich. And some people saying a hot dog is a sandwich. I love hot dogs. Is a hot dog a sandwich? It's meat within bread. Some people say a hot dog is a sandwich. I don't think a hot dog is a sandwich. I think a hot dog is a hot dog, but it is what it is. What are we talking about here tonight? Spam is for mopping floors. Oh, y'all funny. Listen, I think we had a great live tonight. We're past the 2-hour mark. I appreciate all the love, the questions. I hope you guys got some kind of value from this live stream tonight. I will be back with regular form content tomorrow. We do have a live on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Come check that out. If you're not there, my opinion, those are the most impactful lives that we do on this channel. I think more people come to these, but we're growing that audience over there. We talk about life. We talk about inspiration, motivation, real issues. I love doing those Wednesdays. If you're not aware of those, watch them on the replay if you want. But I have a live chat just like this. And then obviously we go live every Sunday. I think right now, without doing a lot of research, I think we have the longest running live show in the gig economy. I don't know any other content creators that have been doing this for almost 3 years, every single week. I don't know. I think we have the longest running show that's been most consistent every single Sunday. I think we can say that. I think maybe that's this kind of like a live show with I think we do, and I'm happy to say that. And I'm going to continue to do these shows. I know you guys love it. It's a way to end the week and then start a new week. I'm happy to be somebody that can bring you this entertainment. I appreciate y'all very, very much. If you're somewhere where it's cold, stay warm. Make sure you have the proper equipment and things and tools in your car. If you're going dashing, make sure your tires are good. Make sure you have a window scraper. Make sure you have everything that you need to be successful. I'll see you guys next week.